Today is Saturday, May 21st, 2011. I'm going to speak on a couple items that have been brought up through the media. One is the new rule they're trying to push. They have 7 states behind, is that the popular vote is what puts the president in office. And they use the example of Al Gore with 500,000 votes more than George W. Bush. The problem is that rule cannot apply because we have Article 1, which is the elector, and the elector goes into the 12th Amendment. You can't go contrary to the 12th Amendment. The states do not vote in the elector based on popular votes. The elector is brought in through a case. The only time the states will get involved in any kind of voting for President of the United States is if there's no case being brought in. A case is a legal jurisdiction of a pleader or a prosecutor against the man or woman that ran for office as president. That's called the elector. He's the one that does the qualification, or she's the one that does the qualification, depending on what state that elector came from. If that elector came from the colony states, they're all men. If that elector came from the several states, there may be a woman there that carries the case. The case is a legal document that is filed against the person that's in office or running for office. That's an elector. The elector is a judicial branch decision that is made. That's the first jurisdiction on the qualification of President of the United States. The second jurisdiction, if there is no case, then it would come from the state legislation. But once there's a case involving the President of the United States, or the campaign of the President of the United States, or the work of the President of the United States, or the party that is behind the President of the United States, or the way the votes are taken, etc., etc., that is an elector decision. Elector is Article 1 of the United States Constitution and the 12th Amendment. The 12th Amendment gives the whole layout of how the elector works. When there is a popular vote and there's no case, then that goes into the legislature, and then they see the electors of each state, and then they cast their vote in the legislation. But that jurisdiction hasn't applied, so now you want to make a rule that the whole popular vote selects the president? That doesn't work, because then who has the most money goes in office. So that's why we came up with the elector, and it came all the way back from the Roman canon, so it's been around the international laws and the domestic laws for over 2,500 years. So your rule of 7 states, as far as I see, is a fractious of 7 states that don't like electors, or they don't like the case that they're being charged with. Now, the second issue I want to talk about is the Mississippi. You say you close the Mississippi for 5 miles. Whoever that Coast Guard commander is, that's being overridden right now. The Mississippi is open. We have navigation people on ships that know how to navigate through areas of water, and if they see something that's sunk, then they'll navigate around it. And it doesn't close the Mississippi because a few things sunk, because the ships still carry the draft to go over what's sunk. So the Mississippi is supposed to be open. You're not supposed to be restricting trade or commerce on the Mississippi because something sunk. Because the Army Corps of Engineers goes around and blows up levees in order to release water, it sounds a little more like a conflict on the Mississippi on who has what jurisdiction. And I'm not going to authorize any closure of any kind of waterway that is used in our commerce and trade throughout the world. So the Mississippi is supposed to be open. If they close it for 5 miles, we're going to make sure it gets reopened immediately. And that's about all I have for today. My name is Guy Perea, President of the United States, and I am an elector also because I do carry a case against Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and those two have never qualified for the office of president. They're up there because the party likes them. So you already have your own rule and a de facto government. Well, thank you today. Have a nice day.